Anyways, I'm still outside again because I have nothing to do in my room. Just go outside for a bit. Just see a beautiful sunny out, the blue sky with clouds a little bit around. But hey, to tell you the truth, I just wanted to talk to you guys about movies, TV shows, and video games from my childhood. Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, there was a. I just wanted to tell you guys about all my childhood. Hey William, hey Diego Rosa fan XK9UJ, nice to see you. You know, ever since when I was a child, I watched so many cartoon shows from my childhood, like on Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel. Yeah, and more other kids shows I like. I do remember watching Dexter's Laboratory, Ed and Eddie, maybe Grim and Evil, Maya Luganog, and other shows on Cartoon Network. 25 years ago, Boomerang was launched on the broadcast in 2000, which is the sister of Cartoon Network. I remember watching Boomerang from Cartoon Network in 2008 or 2009, cause on Boomerang they only reruns of every classic cartoons made by Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Warner Brothers, and Hanna Barbera. Oh, thank you for the heart. That's very sweet. Yeah, the Boomerang has a rerun to every classic cartoons made by Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Warner Brothers, Hanna Barbera, and even they have some of the cartoons that was in the '60s, like the Pink Panther, Inspector, and Eddie Arvark, and even a Woody Woodpecker in it as well. There are so many Scooby Doo movie specials that was used to be on Boomerang Theater. And I do remember watching the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. I remember watching that crossover special because it's a very good crossover special as I like because this is the first Hanna Barbera crossover film special that was made in 1987. So yeah, have you wondered? Okay, one day they sure reveal Kids WB. Why Kids WB? Why have you wondered why Kids WB was discontinued in 2008? Um, I think because they had to change the name to CW4 Kids Toonzai, with all the 4 Kids entertainment shows of One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Sonic X, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Cubex, and others. Carl Chully Zen Sandwich says, I really miss Johnny Bravo. I hope it returns. I don't blame you for that. That Johnny Bravo is being weird to women so much. You know why? Because Seth MacFarlane was the writer of the show because he wants to make the character handsome and fell in love with other women's. But little Missy, she's always bothered Johnny. And I guess he wants to be a basketball player in the final episode when LeBron James or Shaq made a special guest. They made a Johnny Bravo movie special called Johnny Goes to Bollywood, the 2012 Cartoon Network movie special. Yeah, that was the last time he seen him on the public television. And yeah, Jeff Bennett's a good voicing Johnny Bravo because of Eva Pesci voice impressions instead of using John Travolta impressions. But I heard that he actually got girls but off screen. Yeah, I heard that because he's being weird to women so much. But for little Sissy, the little girl, she always bothered Johnny too much. but she always lived with his mother, cause I think he's in his 20s or something, cause he never had a true love throughout the series. Even the Scooby Doo crossover special, even the Flintstones crossover specials. That was a good times. And Cow Chicken and I Am Weasel are the same universe because it's the same creator. And I think that it's the person he made a commercial of Cheetos commercials, making the same animation styles like Cow Chicken and I Am Weasel. Both shows are funny and hilarious because Charlie Otter voicing all of his characters. And for Dexter's Laboratory, that show was very perfect original series, like the Moxie show. Because Cartoon Network wants to create its own original characters, original shows, original ideas. Since Cartoon Network is association bought the rights by I think Cartoon Network brought the rights by Hanna-Barbera characters so they could use the characters on the original program. The one thing I knew about Cartoon Network, they could use any Hanna-Barbera characters like Scooby-Doo, Yogi Bear, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, and many others. But Ted Turner Company did give it a lot of more characters to be in, such as Penelope Pitstop, Wacky Races, C-Lab, and Space Ghost. So during the development of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Cartoon Network Productions wants to make a new Wacky Races cartoon. The idea was they're going to take all the episodes and put it all together to make a long race, and the show's going to be called Wacky Races Coast to Coast. And the next night, at that night, Mike Laszlo had a fever dream about Space Ghost. So the next day, they came in and hold on a second. Did you know Did you know that most of Johnny Bravo's episode reference not just Evan Prusty, but also James Bond? What very made people forget. Yeah, that's a good reference to James Bond movies. I could agree with that. So yeah. So one night, Mike Laszlo got a dream about Space Ghost hosting a talk show. So the next morning, he came to the studio and told the employers, said, "Change your plans, everyone. The show is going to be called Space Ghost Coast to Coast," and that was it. They made two pilots that never aired on television. So Space Ghost, which was, hold on a second. Hi, a thought on terrible animators. Well, the only thing I knew about terrible animators is John Kay, the creator of Ren and Stimpy, because all of his animations are weird. And do a no-name Smurf voice impressions. Hi, I'm no name Smurf. That's a regular voice. I don't know who voiced no name Smurf. They could be British. Oi, no name Smurf. I'm no name Smurf from the Smurf series. Anywho, so Andy Merrill voiced Space Ghost during the pilot. He was the interview Denzel Washington, and then he interviewed Emma Thompson and Chris Golden in the second pilot. But it only shown on DVD. By the time in 1994, the show premiered on Cartoon Network. You know what to say, the rest of the history. Do a Patrick voice impressions.
No, this is Patrick. No! This is Patrick! I'm not a Krusty Krab. First, I had to put away my secret box. Nice try, burglar, but SpongeBob is my best friend, and he would never steal it from me. That's it, SpongeBob. You have crossed the line. As for this time, this friendship is over. Nah, you can look inside if you want to.
Bill did a good job voicing Patrick. It's back in the 90s. So yeah, Space Ghost, the Coast to Coast premiered on Cartoon Network, and the show is about so the way that the show used to be located in Atlanta, Georgia. Andy Merrill and Dave Willis will call the celebrities on the phone to ask him or her to be on the show. If he or she says yes, then they have to be in CNN studio, sitting in a dark room, ask what the show is about, or asking so many silly or stupid questions. There are so many celebrities appeared on the Space Ghost Coast to Coast, especially Conan O'Brien, George Lowe, Adam West, Andy Dick, Bill Nye the Science Guy, and many other celebrities. Good question, SG Undertaker. How many times has Mr. Krabs caught Squidward sleeping on a job at the Krusty Krab? Once during the episode of SpongeBob, cause he doesn't like being a cash register. He just want to be home relaxed. Oh, come on, Mr. Krabs. I need to get some relax for myself. There's no customers around.
Mr. Squidward, I don't pay you to sleep on a job. Now get to work.
Aye, aye, sir. If wasn't for SpongeBob sleeping on the job, he should be a good employer, unlike Squidward. So I remember watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast on YouTube. I thought this was a for kids show because it was broadcast on Cartoon Network from 1994 to 1999. By the time in 2001, the show still continued on Adult Swim because the animation still updated because Adult Swim was found in 2001. I think I remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force was broadcast on Cartoon Network in 2000 because they made the characters talking food like Master Shake, Frylock, and Meatwad. Hello, I'm Master Shake.
I'm Frylock.
And I'm Meatloaf. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Asimbo! And what's Carl?
I think he probably went to sleep.
Yeah, maybe he's too busy doing something in his house. Alrighty then. Aqua Teams, away! If Aqua Teen Hunger Force made a kid show on Cartoon Network, it won't be no cursing or doing inappropriate, but it's still popular on Adult Swim throughout the years. And it's still the same animation styles on Hanna-Barbera cartoon designs. Like they did the Brak Show, which is a spinoff of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Sea Lab 2021, Harvey Birdman, Attorney in Law, Home Movies, and others. So yeah, it should be enough to watch Adult Swims. I'm allowed to watch Adult Swim because it's hilarious, but the first time I watched on Adult Swim, I didn't even know Futurama and Family Guy was on Adult Swim, despite the shows are not part of the Warner Brothers company. Futurama and Family Guy are made by Fox. And for Robot Chicken, it's made by Ghost Planet Industries, but the company changed the name to William Street. I do remember William Street used to be original name called Ghost Planet Industries because of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Because of the building was shaped like Space Ghost Coast to Coast Studio. And the bang, the hammer sound, I think that was in the 80s show. I forgot what that show is. And there's a Cartoon Network skull on the white background is a little bit distant to see. That means it's still part on a Cartoon Network broadcast, although swim block. I do remember watching Toonami back in my day. I found the mascot of host scares me because that astronaut host scared the crap out of me when I was a baby. And I remember Moltar was the first host of Toonami because the broadcast takes place in Space Ghost Coast to Coast because the same animation style that during broadcast. I think was introduced in spring 1997 until 1999. Moltar and Ghost Planet Industries disappeared from the block. So it was replaced by a Toonami's transmission spaceship. And replace the host of Tom Wan. Tom Wan design looks so cute, but his voice by Sonny Douglas, the main cast member from Dragon Ball Z. After being a host for 1 year and a half, he was killed by the red gooey intruders during the broadcast. And thank you for the hearts. Tom 1 is gone, and he's replaced Tom 2, but teenage look. And his voice was replaced by Steve Blum, the D voice. Yeah, D voice. Yeah, that's what Steve Blum voice sounds like. Yeah, I've been listening to his voice all the time during the Toonami broadcast. Even I could listen to his voice on Lego DC Superhero as Wolverine, and he did so many animes and cartoon shows that he did. Yeah, that was a good times. So yeah, after a few years of being a host of Toonami on a comic strip, he was killed by one of the creatures in the comic book of Toonami. He was replaced of Tom 3 as an adult, but Steve Blum still continued voicing Tom. And they changed the intro because of the spaceship broadcast. I do remember in 2000. I think I remember watching so many cartoons from my childhood. And I even watched my old movies. Um, I do remember watching those movies on VHS from my childhood, and so ask questions. What do you like to do? So I'm going to give you some of the questions. The first question I want to ask you all is, what is your opinion of Toonami broadcast? What is your opinion of Toonami? All right. What is your opinion being Toonami broadcast? Yeah. Well, it will give you an answer when you get ready, okay? Sorry about that. It doesn't work. Well, that's a good answer, SNG Undertaker. I think it's a quote nature. It was previously associated with Cartoon Network back in the days. But it's still part of the Adult Swim, dude. It doesn't curse on the broadcast because it could be rated TV 14. But yeah, it's still good old days I remember watching from my childhood. I found the mascot, a host, scares me, but I found his voice sounds very deep, very handsome, deep voice. Now, here's another question for all my fans out there besides SMG Undertaker. What is your opinion of anime shows on Cartoon Network during Saturday morning cartoons for your classic days when you're young or a teenager? Like early 2000s or 2010s? Just answer when you put in the comments. Oh, good. Carly Carter says, I think Toonami is great. It's amazing. I also hope they could somehow to be returned. Well, it's already been returned since 2012 on Adult Swim, okay? Did you hear the news back in 2012? Toonami just returned back in 2012 on Adult Swim. Now, here's the feature film questions I want to ask you. Let's start with Pixar, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Now, all the question I wanted to ask is, what is your favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios? From Snow White and Seven Dwarfs to the new Disney film. Give me some answers when you get a chance. For me, my favorite is Tarzan, Dinosaur, The Lion King, Aladdin, um, Atlantis, Treasure Planet, Lilo and Stitch, Chicken Little, Meet the Robinsons, um, Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, and that was it. I don't blame from the Disney company because they wanted to make more live action movies because billionaires. It's not the company's fault. They just want to make a live action. Good answer. Well, my personal favorite Disney Pixar film is Prey because it's a feature meta. Yes, I know it's your favorite Pixar movie, but I'm asking you about what is your favorite Disney animation studio feature films, motion picture from made by Disney, from Snow White and Seven Dwarfs to the new Disney film. I respect your opinion. Marta, she made by Space Clown from Space Lab. I don't even know what that. I don't even know what you're talking about. This makes no sense. And and there's another question for Disney Toon Studios. What is your favorite Disney Toon Studios from DuckTales the movie to the Tinkerbell's last film? My favorite is a Goofy movie, extremely Goofy movie, Lady and a Tramp 2, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, the Three Musketeers, and others. Oh, good answer. I love most of them, but if I was told the one I should pick as my top tier, it would be Big Hero 6. Yeah, because this is the first time Disney has the action scenes because of Marvel reference. And, yeah, that movie was so fantastic animation styles. Stanley cameo and the post credit cameo appearances as the animated form. Powerpuff cartoon is best. I don't know what that is. Yeah, let's see. Anyways, and that's all my favorite from Disney Toon Studios. But I respect your opinion because John Lasseter used to be the new chief creator officer of Disney Toon Studios because he doesn't like the idea of making more sequels and directed a video of feature film Disney films, including the sequels that were originally going to be released in early 2000s. So they had to remove the ideas and replace their own original ideas of spin-offs between Cars and Peter Pan. The only new about John Lasseter he likes to make is the two spin-off films between Peter Pan and Cars, like Tinkerbell movies and Disney Planes. Disney Planes already made two movies and and Tinkerbell only made six movies or something. And that was Tinkerbell's last movie, The Neverland Beast. Yeah, that was the last movie. And some of the Disney Planes 3 was originally going to be released in 2019, but unfortunately it was shut down in 2018 because for no reason. Carl says, "Wait, is Astro Boy a Disney film too?" No, it's anime. It's not from Disney, but they made a feature film made by the same company who created TMNT and Father of the Pride. I think it was Imagi Animation Studios, the Japanese animation. Yeah, that's the company made TMNT. Astro Boy. Now it's time. What's your favorite DreamWorks animation film by Jeffrey Katzenberg? What is your favorite DreamWorks animation ICKG from Ants to the new film? My favorite is Ants, Shrek, Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, and Over the Hedge, B Movie, and Monster vs. Aliens. Jeffrey Katzenberg hires so many Saturday morning cast members, Saturday Night Live cast members to voice the characters, but instead of cartoonish voice, they want celebrities to do a normal voice to voice the characters. Like for instance, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and John Lithgow has the name on the top of the cover, Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, David Spade, Jada Pinkett Smith on the name of the title, Bruce Willis, Steve Carell, Gary Shannon, Walter Sykes, William Shatner, Nick Nolan, and Thomas Holland Church, Allison Janney, Eugene Levy, Calvi O'Hara, Oliver Levine, and that was Jerry Seinfeld, Renee Zellweger, Matthew Broderick, Patrick Warburton, John Goodman, Chris Rock, Oprah Winfrey, Larry King, Sting, and even Wayne Knight, but deleted scene only. There are so many Saturday Night Live cast members voicing DreamWorks animation characters on the set. And you know that's the first DreamWorks answer hired? It was Woody Allen. Space Clown was Crossbow in New Space Clowns. I don't know what Space Clown is. Alright, for Ants, Woody Allen, Gene Hackman, Shelley Stone, Jennifer Lopez, Christopher Walken, Annie Bovard, Sylvester Stallone, Dan Aykroyd, Jane Eyre, and Danny Glover. Woody Allen was Woody Allen's first and only animated film because he spent 5 days recording the main role of character named Z, and he doesn't like the idea of his own animated film. So that was his first and only animated film he did. And Prince of Egypt, all of them were voiced by another Saturday Night Live and other movie stars. I think it was Val Kilmer, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Danny Glover. I can't remember the other people's name of the cast. All right, Carl says, who is your money on? Penguins of Madagascar or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I think was Penguins of Madagascar, I guess. Yeah, all right. And for Chicken Run, Road to El Dorado, I think it was Kevin Kline, Charles Kimmerich, Jim Cummings. Dang, it's hard name celebrities from Road to El Dorado cast. For Chicken Run, Armin Studios first. Wait, hold on a second. Double D by says 6 Nights at Zoe's new movie. It's fake, okay? Alright, for Chicken Run, which is Armin Studios' first movie, all the chickens and humans were voiced by British actors and actresses, while Rocky was voiced by American actor Mel Gibson. This is the first Armin movie to have an American voice actor in it, because most of the characters and actors are British, so they can understand the English. I had to agree that DreamWorks good association. And for Joseph King of Dreams, Ben Affleck is Joseph. He always read the Bible about Joseph. And then Jodie Benson is the princess. And I've seen many voice actors in a Bible movie. I can't remember. It could be Jeff Bennett, Mark Hamill, and others whatsoever. Yeah, so yeah, DreamWorks did 3 2D animated movies because of similarities to a Disney movie. 1 year later, Jeffrey Katzenberg made Shrek as a producer. Okay, what if David Zaslav really got fired from Warner Bros. Discovery? Yeah, he'll be fired. Good for him. He never is gonna work there ever again. Alright, for Shrek, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow, Cody Cameron, Carl Vergers, Christopher Knights, and Jim Cummings, and Catherine Freeman, which is her last voice acting before her death. But during the production of Shrek, Chris Farley was considered the voice Shrek in the 90s, making him sound like, "No, I'm an ogre! Doesn't that bother you at all?" Nope. Really? Really? Suit yourself. But he already recorded 95% of the dialogue, and they made the lost scene. Shrek and Donkey were having a camp night out, and By the time he passed away, and his last movie was Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald, they had to recast the movie stars. So he was replaced Mike Myers to make sounds British or Scottish. Eddie Murphy chose Donkey because Jeffrey Katzenberg loves Eddie Murphy because he knew him during their career begins. And for Cameron Diaz, they chose her because she wanted a martial art character. And John Lithgow, during the production of Hercules, he was considered to voice Hades, but he was replaced to James Woods as Hades. So John Lithgow chose to be, I think, Lord Farquaad. Ha 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 ha! I'm going to force that ogre to rescue Princess Fiona so he can get back to Swamp. Ha 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 ha! John Lithgow's voice almost sounds like Tom Hanks' impressions, like Deeber voice. I'm gonna show that ogre to make him rescue the princess so he can get his swamp back. Ha 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 ha! That's the coolest voice I ever heard. I think his first animated film was Rugrats in Paris the movie. Yeah, that was his first animated film. I don't know what's his character name, but he sounds very evilly. So yeah, after Shrek came out, DreamWorks loved that movie and it became one of the most popular franchises ever since because of PDI animation style. For 2002 film, Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon is the narrator of this movie. He voiced Spirit the horse, but don't talk. He was narrating because of the legendary stories about a horse travel across the world, so his journey begins. He was a wonderful horse hero to follow his legacy about his father's past. Everybody always loved him so much. So, anyways, for Sinbad, Brad Pitt's first animated film played a title character, Sinbad, and this was DreamWorks Animation's final time using 2D animation before replacing focus on CGI films from DreamWorks. So yeah, that was sorry, hold on. So yeah, that was DreamWorks' last movie using 2D animation style. And everybody's gonna miss the animation style so much because they had to move on to the new generation CGI. For Shrek 2, still the cast. Have you ever heard or remember the GBVO of All Request cartoon show? No. Anyways, for Shrek 2, I think still the same cast, but new cast members. Antonio Banderas, Julie Andrews, John Cleese, Jennifer Sanders, Rupert Irvine, Larry King. And most of all the fairy tale creatures are voiced by DreamWorks members. Yeah. So this is why Puss in Boots was introduced in Shrek 2. Okay. S&G Undertaker, thank you for noticing. Sometimes 2D animation style don't last forever. Well, yeah, that's true. Even Disney wants to focus on 2D. Even DreamWorks, Sony Pictures Animations, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and others. Other studios, even some of the cartoons that was made in Canada or Australia or Japan. All right, David, which movie is better, Ants or A Bug's Life? I prefer A Bug's Life because that movie is so friendly from Disney. But the bad news is after Jeffrey Katzenberg got fired, he wants to copy Disney Pixar movies to make more or less adult humor like Ants. Because Ants is a second CGI animated film because they want to focus on underground tunnel instead of outside the world. Because it also shows the bar scene and cursing because of Woody Allen's first and only animated film. please, this is Z from the colony, and I just want to be a good soldier to be Princess Bala. A Bugs Life character as pigeons for Minecraft? D- don't know what you're talking about. Alright, for Madagascar, Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, David Schwimmer, Jada Pinkett Smith, Andy Richter, Sacha Baron Cohen, Cedric the Entertainer, and the four penguins were voiced by DreamWorks cast members Tom McGraw, Chris Milder, Christopher Knights, and Jeffrey Katzenberg. Oh, this is the first time I know Jeffrey Katzenberg voicing the character, but didn't talk. And I think the movie is about Stuck in the Wild. It's about animal four friends living in the Central Park Zoo, but ended up being a birthday wish and ended up living in Madagascar for quite wild. And for Wallace and Gromit, all of them. Hold on. Hold on. I think I know what you're talking about. Do you like? I'm speaking Spanish. You're speaking Spanish, Master Movies guy. It's Master Creator 1998 to you. Alright, as for Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, all of them were voiced by British actors and actresses, and the same person who voiced Wallace in every Wallace and Gromit shorts. But for Gromit, he didn't talk, he's just using a silent movement hands, or movement bodies. I think the movie is about the vegetable competition of the Were-Rabbit. Alright, for Over the Hedge, I don't know about the Over the Hedge movie. I think the movie is about a bunch of willing creatures lived there for 5 months of winter hibernation. So they discovered a giant hedge behind the forest. Wait. Hold on a second. David, you said, what is your opinion on Food Fight? My opinion, worst movie of 2012. To me, that movie has so many company commercial cameos in this movie, and I seen Charlie Sheen voice the main character, and I see so many items characters from the commercials like the butter syrup, Mr. Clean, the Ocean Cleaner, whatever that is, Mr. Twinkie, and more other items. Christopher Lloyd voiced the villain. Paper Girl Merida used magic powers for paper part. Yes, I know that character from the book and from the movie. Anyways, Over the Hedge is about biologist whittling creatures living in 5 months for winter hibernation, so they discover the giant hedge behind the middle of the forest. The other side is 100 brand new homes, so they need to find a way to survive in this hibernating in this behind the hedge. So, RJ is an awesome raccoon, and he likes to discover food. He likes to eat food, because raccoon eat foods. So, let's get started with the voice cast. Bruce Willis is RJ. So, in case you didn't notice, Bruce Willis is retired a few years ago. Are you excited for GTA 6? I played that GTA game multiple times with my old friend's game. It's cool and realistic and awesome. Anyways, Bruce Willis did the voice of RJ during the productions. But in case you didn't notice, in reality, he officially retired from acting because he has a health problem. So he can't remember he's a movie star or famous actor. He's bald. He's retired this year. I think he officially retired a couple years ago, so he can't remember anything. So his family decided to take care of him. Anyways, Gary Shannon is Vern the Turtle. Yeah, Gary Shannon, the voice of Vern. Yeah, he passed away in 2016. I think it was 9 years ago when he passed. So Vern is the leader of all the animals in the forest. trying to find a way to what's going on behind the bushes. So yeah, Vern wants to team up with RJ to collect all the foods to join them on the mission. And there's a lot of animals you can hear about it. Hold on a second. In JBVO, I was actually shocked to hear that not only cartoon Kawa Chicken, Dexter's Laboratory, the Powerpuff Girls, and Samurai Jack were in the same dimensions, but also the Dragon Ball universe too. What's JBVO? I don't even know what that means. Sorry. Anyways, there's a lot of animal movies that be appeared in this film, like Stella the Skunk. Wanda Sykes is Stella the Skunk. She is very a single skunk, and she has covered her hair, and she turned herself into a cat form. William Shatner is Ozzy the Possum, who likes to play dead. And Ozzy has a teenage daughter named Heather, voiced by a Canadian singer, Avril Lavigne. And Luke and Penny were voiced by two Canadians, Eugene Levy and Kathy O'Hara. And the three Porcupine Kids were voiced by three child actors. For the humans, I think Gladys, the voice by Allison Janney, who is the president-owned association of House Place, and Dwayne. I think he was voiced by Thomas Holland Church. What is your opinion on the Emoji Movie? My opinion was worst movie 2017. For me, that movie is a ripoff of Wreck-It Ralph and Lego Movie. All because of the emotions. This movie should get rid of it and while focusing on Popeye. Why will Sony Pictures Animation do that? It's a stupid idea. Okay, hi Galaxy Sailor 22995. Anyway, for Vincent the Bear, voiced by Nick Nolan, and last but not least, Hammy the Squirrel was voiced by Steve Carell. Hold on a second. Carl says, it was this spin-off show of Johnny Bravo which were live kids could technology ask him different version shows to be played in his show. The Emoji Movies also rip off of Inside Out. Well, close enough. Fan-made boss fight was coming November. We should have the Popeye movie instead of the Emoji Movie. I can totally agree with you. Popeye is very important to have our own animated film because the same person who created Dexter's Laboratory. But it only made the animation test during the development. What's wrong with Sony Pictures Animation nowadays? They need to focus on Popeye movie, not some crappy emoji movie who has a emoji talking, and all those game ads, they just come out of nowhere. So yeah, I remember watching Over the Hedge, and it's my favorite part is all eating food. Anyways, Flushed Away, which is Armin Studios' last movie before it ended a partnership. Hi, how you doing? Guess Super Galaxy News Sando 29995. Flushed Away is about Flushed Away is the first and only animated movie in its animation style by using DreamWorks and Armin. So yeah, it's the for the best to ended a partnership because of the animation water style. Flushed Away were all voiced by British or Australian actors, because the movie takes place in England, same country that Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run. All those movies are made in England. All right, for 2007, Shrek the Third, still the same cast, but Justin Timberlake was in it, John Krasinski is in it, and Eric Idle's in this movie, and Larry King's still in this movie. And the reason why Prince Charming chose the main villain because he wants to follow his mother's legacy after she was defeated in the sequel. So Prince Charming wants revenge on Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Puss in Boots, and others. Oh, good question, David. What is your favorite Will Ferrell movie? My favorite is Megamind, the Lego Movie, Curious George the Movie, Zoolander, Blaze of Glory, Everything Must Go, Step Brothers, Telegator Nights, Anchorman, and um, what else? Old School 2003 and Elf. Yeah, hilarious man. And he's also singer and very tall actor. And also my favorite Stranger Than fictions. All right, Carl, you said, is Jeff Bennett open for playing the Johnny Bravo role? I'm curious. Yes, I think he voiced Johnny Bravo in the 90s during the premiere. Okay, your favorite Will Ferrell movie is Max Lemos in Despicable Me 4. Well, yeah, that was his villain, another villain role since Megamind and Lego Movie. Congratulations on your 100 subscribers, Super Galaxy News Satchel 2995. Anyways, Shrek the Third has the same cast members, and this was the last time made by PDI DreamWorks. And for B movie, Jerry Seinfeld, Renee Zellweger, Matthew Broderick, Patrick Warburton, John Goodman, Chris Rock, Oprah Winfrey, Ray Liotta, Sting, Larry King, Jim Cummings, Tracy Morgan, and Wayne Knight. Yeah. Fan-made mini boss fights film coming November 2025, coming November 2026. I don't know what that is. To be honest with you, B movie is kind of a little bit of weird film because why would Barry B. Benson fell in love with a human? It's super creepy. And that was Jerry Seinfeld's first and only animated film because he wants to focus on this instead of comedian. I do remember he was in stand-up comedy during the opening show of Seinfeld from 1989 to 1998. And he already knew the cast. He knew Patrick Warburton, Wayne Knight, Jason Alexander, Michael Richards, Jennifer Lewis Duff-Wines, Jerry Stiller, Betty White, and many other cast members from Seinfeld. His voice is still the same. All right. For Kung Fu Panda, Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, David Cross, Seth Rogen, Jackie Chan. Oh, I forgot about Shark Tale. Sorry, I forgot about Shark Tale. Shark Tale is Will Smith, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Ducky Dog, and more other casts. I know. That was Martin Scorsese's first and only animated film because he directed several movies of. Yes, I know Seth Rogen's the voice of Donkey Kong and Mario movie and Frank from Sausage Party. Seth Rogen. Oh, good question, David. What is your favorite Jim Carrey movie? My favorite Jim Carrey movie is The Mask, Ace Venture's franchise, Dumb and Dumber franchise, Liar Liar, which is funniest movie, The Cable Guy, Mr. Truman Show, Horton Hears the Who 2008, Bruce Almighty, Disney's Christmas Carol, what else? Kick Ass 2, and my most awesome favorite is Sonic the Hedgehog series. Dr. Ivan Robotnik. Yeah, he voiced Dr. Eggman. Snooping as usual, I see. Nameless Skeleton Bones Army got war against Mochi movie emojis. Good opinion. Anyways, back to Kung Fu Panda. Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, David Cross, Seth Rogen, Jackie Chan, Dustin Hoffman, Dan Flogger, James Hogg, Michael Clark Duncan, and Ian McShane. And I forgot what's his actor name, the voice of Master Oogway. I can't remember his name. It's like a Japanese name. Yes, I saw that movie in 2008. It was so hilarious. I never knew Jack Black played Poe Panda when he was in his 40s, even though he sounds like a teen in his 20s. Too bad we won't see Dr. Eggman Sonic the movie 4 after he died in the ending. Well, according to this, he's coming back to life. Okay, you should check the trailer again when it comes out. So don't be sassy. But I understand. But I just want him back to life. So I don't want Jim Carrey to retire again. Everybody always loved him as a comedian so much, all along with other Saturday Night Live cast members. I don't care what the Hollywood said. I just want Jim Carrey back and on track. Don't be sorry. I want Jim Carrey back on track so he can make some money. That's why he's out of from retirement. So, anyways, all right, Madagascar Ski to Africa. All the same cast members, but new actors: Bertie Mac, Symmetra Bros, Alec Baldwin, and that was it. Oh yeah, this was Bernie Mac's last movie before after he passed away. The movie was dedicated to him because he was sick so much. He was the best actor from the Bernie Mac show. Okay, Super Galaxy, what is your favorite Wendy Anderson films? Mine is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Cause that movie is sound realistic because Wes Anderson studio using the microphone to have actors to record it during the outside scene or inside scene to make sound realistic. Yes, I know. Bernie Mac was Madagascar too as Alex's dad. Yeah, his name is Makanda, Alex's dad. That was his last movie, but his last movie was Disney Old Dogs. Yeah, that movie was dedicated to him. Yeah, that's your favorite film, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Yeah, I get it. Yes, I know. It's Zupa, Alex's dad, because he's the best leader in Africa. Anyways, Monster vs. Aliens. Reese Witherspoon, Seth Rogen, Will Arnett, Hugh Laris, uh, um, Rainn Wilson, Stephanie Colbert, Paul Rudd, Amy Plyer. Yeah, I this is Seth Rogen's third animated film for DreamWorks. Wait, hold on. Did you know I make creepypasta about Wes Anderson working at DreamWorks Animation Studios and working at THX? Double DA Base says Demon Body acts like giant nuke. I've already said to you about a few minutes ago. My favorite is Ants, Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, How to Train Your Dragon, and even Turbo and The Cruise, and even Over the Hedge, Flushed Away, and more. Seth Rogen, I know he's the voice of Frank. Yes, Frank from Sausage Party. I get it. You already told me that. So, Monster vs. Aliens is it's a crazy movie about a monster fighting against the aliens. And that was the last movie using DreamWorks Animation HKG logo 2004. And for How to Train Your Dragon, Jay Barcaros, America Fila, Jonah Hill, Christopher Place, and T.J. Miller, Kristen Wiig, and other British actors. Anyways, he works at DreamWorks Animation Studios in 1999. I don't know what you're saying. How to Train Your Dragon is an awesome movie about Viking against dragons. But the ending, Vikings love dragons. They also made a TV Christmas special and a TV show on Cartoon Network. I think the TV special takes place after the first movie when the Vikings getting along with dragons. So yeah, that show is a little bit popular because of the franchise keeps going on with the new sequels, the third film, and spin-offs. Astrid and Hiccup XOX love each other since they met in the first film. They made a live action film of How to Train Your Dragon 2025 this year. Nah, I didn't watch the live action. It's too realistic. Plus, they kept changing Astrid's blonde hair to brown hair, and that's weird. Duma Stone versus Worst Kids Movies. No. And for Shrek Forever After, the final chapter, all of them are still same actors, but Walt Dillon, the DreamWorks member, voiced Rumpelstiltskin. Yes, congratulations. You already told me about your 100 subscriber Super Galaxy News Central 29995. Alright, Walt Dillon did the voice of Rumpelstiltskin as he's a employer at DreamWorks. All the witches were voiced by actresses, including Kristen Bell. Kristen Skull's first voice acting animated film. And yes, I know it's copying a Disney live action movie, so I get it. And the old girls are voiced by Joe Ham, Craig Robinson, and Jay Large. Yeah, they're new. I think they finally found the Ogres because Fiona and Shrek and the three puppies are now the only members of the Ogres alone. Can you please watch Ruby Gamma Teenage Coloring? No, that movie is a ripoff of Little Mermaid. I mean, why would a girl with red hair become a villain while the other squid fish girl is the hero? It makes no sense. Plus, the animation looks okay, but I don't like they copying a ripoff of Little Mermaid. It's so creepy. It's all thanks to Jeffrey Katzenberg's idea, copying Disney movie to the DreamWorks movies to have adult humor. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so yeah, that was Shrek Forever After final chapter. So they finished Shrek franchise, but this year the franchise back to life. All right, now to Megamind. Wait, Wes Anderson's made his first forbiddable animation deleted opening scene of Chicken Run. Oh, come on. He didn't work at any other studios. He works at his own studio that he made Fantastic Mr. Fox. Stop making a fake story. It's just a theory. Double Stone Powers, nuke launchers of falling dino bones. That was a history story about millions of years before we existed. So anyways, Megamind. Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Jonah Hill, David Cross, Brad Pitt, J.K. Simmons, Ben Stiller, and the guy, I don't know who's the voice, the mayor of Metro City. Oh yeah, Will Ferrell's first villain role, and this is the first time Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller movie together since Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller were movies together since. What is your opinion on Spirit Under Tame? I watched the clips, but it's not the same animation before because of the two different animation styles. Since the first movie was a 2D, and now they made a 3D movie of Spirit. The villain girl becomes a mermaid, remind me of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That makes no sense. To me, the girl, the mermaid, she looks very beautiful with blue hair, blue eyes, and red hair, and blue nail polish. Anyways, Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller have been know each other throughout the movie since Zoolander, and now their own animated films in Megamind. During a production of Megamind, Robert Downey Jr. was considered to voice Megamind because of he was originally to voice the title character, but he left the studio working on Iron Man 2. So he's replaced Will Ferrell to voice the villain, making some more evilly. Alright, now to Kung Fu Panda 2. Still same people voice the characters, but a new cast, Gary Oldman, Danny McBride. Yes, Jonah Hill voiced Carl from Sausage Party. I recognize his voice. You don't have to remind me of some Sausage Party characters. Well, I've fed up with all this telling of DreamWorks movies anyway. Now let's get to the video games. Alright, I think I started my favorite video games, Nintendo. Nintendo always been my favorite console company I like. I remember I used to have a Game Boy Advance, GameCube, and the Red DS. And I remember my dad used to have a little PlayStation thingy, PSP. Yeah, the little PSP thing he has, like race cars or watch movies on PSP. It's I share his once in a lifetime, and I also I continue playing GameCube games. For me, about her, she's dating with Indiana Jones. It, that's your opinion, okay? All right, now video games time. Ever since my childhood, I just love video games. They've always been my favorite because it's very fun to play. Multiplayers fighting each other, doing all levels. I always like Super Mario games because it's my childhood. And for the record, I've always known that most people used to play video games indoors, but sometimes play video games on outside back in the day. Back in the early 90s, in the early 80s, most kids used to play video games indoors. Can you explain about the cast of Ruby Gil Martinez and the writers of Lost Ark? No, thank you. I'm okay with that. Back in the 80s, most kids and teenagers used to play video games back in the day, like Nintendo Entertainment System and Virtual Boy and other games from the NES. And in 1990s, they used to have a Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Game Boy, and Nintendo 64. Um, the original PlayStation that exists, and Sega Genesis Sega consoles. I most kids used to love the playing console games than indoors, but sometimes they used to play video games on the outside. In 2000s, they do video games multiple time outside, but sometimes play video games on the inside, like during a sleepover, or visiting your best friend's place, or watch TV, play video games on your own while their parents are around, or anything else. Oh, sorry. After I got rid of the GameCube and DS and Game Boy Advance, I have Nintendo Wii, the Nintendo White Wii. My favorite first game I play is Wii Sports. Wii Sports is my favorite first Nintendo Wii game. It's like a five sports they do. Like they did bowling, baseball, tennis, golf, and boxing. It's very fun game to play on Nintendo Wii. It also comes with a plug. They used the Nintendo GameCube plug. Yeah, it was a good times. And most kids used to play at different consoles like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox 360 and Xbox Live, and other game consoles they made in throughout existence. And I used to love the consoles to play. I used to share one of my old friends from the console gameplay we play. My favorite is Motorcycle Rides, Tony Hawk games, and more. One of my old friends plays to used to play games a lot. Yeah, that was a good times. Yeah, I just really miss my old days. And ever since we moved to Florida in 2012, I have a black Nintendo Wii box. It still looks the same, but it doesn't have plug. I only play several Nintendo Wii games, including Super Smash Bros. Brawl and more. That was the good times. I I just love the game console from my childhood.
I've always loved video games from my childhood, but I was never giving up. It's my thing to play once. I have a Nintendo Switch, but I'm very doing something. I'm finding a way to get rid of those games. Again, Duma's Doom had more powerful Thunder Blast. Yeah, you already told me in the picture, right? Double D I E T T. Okay. Sorry, I feel a little dizzy. Sorry, I almost sleepy. Yeah, I'm still continuing playing DS and Nintendo Switch, but I haven't played Wii for a while, including their Black Wii. Sometimes I share with all my friends consoles to play multiplayer fights. I remember playing Super Smash Bros. Mainly, but for me, it gives me idea to make a fan-made movie out of it. Right before I met SMG Undertaker and all my friends on YouTube and joined YouTube, I want to make my own fan-made movie of Super Smash Bros. So it gives me opportunity to have more characters, and Cartoon Network characters, the Disney characters, the Nickelodeon characters, more video game characters in it, including Go animated and YouTube poop characters. What is your opinion on Adam Kennington? Sucks, evil, and twisted animator and the employer at THX. Don't ask me about the strange person again. So, yeah. If you were young again, what do you like to do your childhood days? Because I only watch videos of people watching their nostalgia days when they were young in 2000s, the 90s, 80s, 70s, or even in. Oh yeah, good. Remind me, David. I remember playing New Super Mario Bros. On Nintendo DS. Me too. I like playing New Super Mario Bros. On DS, cause it's a fun game to play in 2006. It also has a mini games similar to Super Mario 64 DS. It was the good old days I played back in my days. I've always loved Mario game franchise ever since. Dang it. I remember playing Fallout New Vegas on my Xbox 360. Well, that game is so cool of awesome action adventures. I watch animes, but I don't enjoy it because it's not my thing. Mine is cartoon nostalgia, but not some bunch of anime who has the anime English dub voice actors in it. The only I knew about it is all Sonic the Hedgehog voice cast members in it. Of all I hear, Roger Craig Smith, Jason Griffin, Janelle White, Ryan Dermos, and other 4Kids cast members in it. But Mike Pollock is the only last cast member from Sonic game, only continued voicing Eggmans throughout the year since 2003. Okay. I make my fan made Super Smash Bros. For me defeated SMG4. Well, come on. SMG4 made Super Smash Bros. Fan made video episode years ago, so don't try to do the same thing. Cause it will be too complicated. Just saying. When I was in childhood, for my days, I seen many commercials that have for my childhood. I remember they made feature films on VHS and DVDs, and the TV during TV commercial spots. It's very awesome, really awesome. Also, I don't like WWE games because they're all sucks to me. But I remember playing one of my friends' plays at their houses of WWE SmackDown. It's too boring for me. I just enjoy it. And just for the record, I've always watched their play fighting games instead of playing with them. It's too risky for me to do it. And I think I know what I'm thinking about. Maybe if I could be the cast member of Super Mario franchise, maybe I could do the voice of Mario Brothers and Wario Brothers, along with Toadsworth from the character from Super Mario Sunshine. And even if I could do Bowser's voice too as well, maybe make it sound more evilly instead of roar sound. That would be interesting. Want to become friends? No. I don't know if you're weird or not, so I don't even know you. I'm sorry, but I can't be friends with weird people who doesn't have ability. Okay, you're not weird, sure, but why don't you go hang out with someone else who that's not my type? I'm not being racist. So yeah, all the video games, movies, and TV shows are my opinion. So I hope you understand the stories, everything, But thank you for telling the stories. Bye, and have a good day.